Good afternoon, guys. This is Minotaras. So I will be picking up one of the articles that has been published in Nikkei newspaper today regarding, I guess, revolution of working environment. I think this is part 9 in Nikkei. I won't be pulling up the actual article because I think you need to pay for that. But the, today, I like this. So-called topic, and I will be trying to discuss on this channel what do I think from what's been kind of being messaged out on these papers, because sometimes it's not what Nikkei may say in those publishments may not be correct or may not be messaged well. So I have been working in Japan, London, and Singapore for over 10 years now. I also have experience working overseas, like I said, and also living overseas when I was a kid as well. So I have a lot of say in terms of, I also have worked in a Japanese company and also a non-Japanese company. So I understand both sides and both issues and merits and disadvantages of working in each kind of companies. So today, we'd like to talk about some of the key points that this article mentions. I would like to highlight a few things that doesn't seem quite right, and I would like to also talk about the advantages of the so-called job type, working environment, or I don't know a good word in English, but and also like to propose a few things so that it's more, it's better in terms of implementing the Japanese companies. So first things first. So SAP article, it said, look, it's a great, Germany has been implementing this job descriptive work for over 100 years. SAP has implemented from 2012, and it seems to be that it's not actually doing any retrenchments or job cuts. But you need to really understand that SAP has done job cuts, retrenchments in the past, 2014, 2015. It has done it for 2019 as well. Just look it up, Google it, SAP retrenchments, or in Japanese, Jin Sakugen, just do it. There are going to be a lot of articles that's coming out. So make sure that because you're in job description and you're in this so-called Germany, who is, let's say, not easy to make job cuts like the US, but they can as well. Even Japan, they can as well. You have seen all these manufacturers in Japan in the past has done this. Even Sony has done this. So it's not, you can't think of like Germany and SAP as a myth by just reading this paper, okay? And even for companies like very, very large conglomerate, Siemens, as you probably know, they have also done this. They will do retrenchments, restructuring if it's needed to value up the company, right? And secondly, just you cannot find in this current environment where economy is not doing that great as it used to be, that okay, you're gonna have flexibility in when you work. You're not gonna be able, you're not gonna be laid off, and you're gonna have high salaries, work and life balance, all good. No, that's a myth. That kind of job doesn't exist anymore. If you want that kind of job, or you don't want any layoffs, you need to work at a public entity, or you need to go to you need to join the army or something, right? You don't really care what you do, but you just want to have a very stable job. You don't care what the job is, but you don't want to be laid off. You just want to enjoy that, I don't know, weekends, or after 6, 7, whatever that they provide you, So that's the industry you need to be in, not private companies. Okay, so that just doesn't exist. And thirdly, it talks about this job descriptive work. It seems to be a very westernized environment. It may came out from that culture, but outside of Japan, if you look at APAC, that's very standard. Asia, Singapore, job description. Australia, job description. Okay, so it's probably just Japan in terms of, if you think about all these OECD countries and developed countries world, Japan's probably one of the only countries that still have this membership type of jobs. Okay, so three things you need to just think about that you just can't read and just implement it in your brain. Okay, you need to think about it. So what can job descriptive work can provide? There are a few things, right? So one thing is that because your job is going to be descriptive and it's going to be on the dot for the most part, you know what you need to do. You can actually compare your job positions with your other let's say rivals within the same sector, so you can understand what that position means within the sector, right? You can do so because by looking at the job description, you're probably going to know what kind of skills you would require and what kind of skills you actually have as of today. To if you're actually fulfilling all the requirements, you actually need a few more step ups, skill ups to achieve that standard level, or you have all that requirements but you want to step it up to another position or other positions or up above, so that you understand what skills you need, right? So, and also for for the company itself, by doing so, you actually you're able to understand what for your business, what is the most optimal way of for people to do that job, in terms of what is exactly the job is. Secondly, what kind of skills you want to request for your employees or new hires to actually do that job. Right now, it's very vague, right? In Japan, they call it sogo shoku. That's like you do everything that you're told. You don't have a say to anything that you're told, right? So again, it's like military, right? Maybe military may have further flexibility. So there are good things about the job description, right? And we obviously need to go out of the membership type. That's obvious. So I'm very, very agreeable to this. But at the same time, two things, right? What moving into the job description type of work means, it's also you're throwing away, you're going out of the so-called sogo shoku type of business, right? So that, again, you do everything, no job description, you do everything what you need to do. So again, it's something that it's a set. If you go into job description, you need to step out of the sogo shoku kind of recruitment or contract, right? And at the same time, secondly, it's very much recommended to go from what do you call it? What's a good word for it? From an hourly pay, which means you'll be paid overwork pay, to the annual pay. So your annual pay is fixed, or monthly pay, whatever that is. You're not going to be you're not going to be paid for this some so-called overtime work. Okay, because given your job description is certain, as long as you do that job, your hour should be, unless you have some core time hours, you should be pretty flexible, right? You don't need to worry about, oh, I need to submit a request to work overtime or whatever, because one of the job description work advantage could be that, okay, you can work flexible hours. Then, okay, you have kids, you need to go you need to go back home, pick up your kids at 6 o'clock at PM, and then you need to feed your kids, do other things at home, and then because you have some deliverables for tomorrow and you couldn't finish that during that day at office, you can finish that after you do these so-called home jobs, right? And then you still deliver that same value. So going out of this hourly rate pay kind of concept to annual pay, fixed annual pay, you can actually control, and it should be more efficient, because you're not going to be paid for that over after 8 p.m. 6 p.m. work, right? Your value for this is, as long as you do what you're told and you agree to deliver, you're going to be paid. You're going to get paid for this, and then based on your performance, you get paid at a certain bonus, right? So this should increase the flexibility of the work or working environment, let's say, and also I believe will increase efficiency, working efficiency, which is also a issue which I'll probably separately discuss. So there are a lot of good things we need to do, but the key message here is there's no dream job type that you get all of everything, right? There's always a risk, and because there is a risk, you want to do a good job, right? And yes, you're not trying to because there is a job cut possibility, you want to do a better job, right? It's more about flexibility, and it's all about also knowing your skills, and so that you know what the skills that you needed, the skills that you need for you to fulfill that position in the sector. So you don't have to be working at a company A. You can still work for B because these positions are very similar. But given a lot of the Japanese companies have different ways of doing business in each company, even if you're in the same sector, it's very hard to understand what position you're in, right? And lastly, what I want to cover is given all these movements, and Japanese, we also need to understand that Japanese companies have done restructuring, they have done layoffs. Look at all these manufacturers, look at all these history. We have the word called Ristora, right? That's restructuring. That's job cuts, layoffs. So Japanese companies can do it, and the reason probably why, maybe in Japan there's this legend, I don't know, myth that there's not, it's not easy to cut jobs. It's probably true, but maybe it's the really large corporates, that is in the very top tier of the large corporates who has actually not done actual restructuring, like actual layoffs across all ages. We're not talking about these automatic retirement job reduction and actually minimizing the at the same time the new recruits, so that your overall employee numbers could reduce. No, it's not that. There should be a more proactive restructuring where all ages in your core employee members, that this member is also applicable for layoffs, right? That's the, these companies need to step into that, because yes, it's the very large corporates who are also creating cultures in Japan and also making a lot of money in Japan as well. So these guys need to change. These big corporates needs to change for everyone to come into this new environment. Okay, so thanks for watching. That's a pretty long video. Please subscribe if you like this kind of me saying things, because I have some experience in in all sorts of countries. So thanks for watching. Please tune in for my next video. Subscribe, watch the Japanese version and English version. It's really good for you. Thank you very much, and goodbye.